So we've talked about now floors, we've talked about workmanship and etc. One of the other important things that we see are also doors and windows. So can we look at standards for doors, hinges?
So doors and windows come in come with different materials. So in case of villas, we and independent houses, we see them using wooden casement windows and wooden doors with wooden frames, and the shutters could be of synthetic or engineered wood. Whereas now the latest trend is to go for UPVC windows. It's exactly a kind of polyvinyl chloride compound. So that is a very commonly used engineering material nowadays, and it has got many advantages over wood. So while looking at the UPVC windows to start with, so there are two kinds of windows we come across. One is the casement window where the shutter opens out and closes in, and another is the sliding windows and doors. So in case of sliding window, what you should be looking for? First of all, you should be looking at whether there is any damage to the frame.
There's a small holes in the frame that they already see. What is that for? What should a homeowner look for in that?
Yeah, that hole, what you see in the bottom of the frame, is actually a drain hole.
If you look at that, it's not covered with mortar or somebody's not removed that cap.
That's very important because the basic purpose of providing a hole will get defeated if it is blocked.
When you have the door, when the sliding doors are there, there is something that is there between the doors. It looks like a comb.
Yeah.
Why should that be looked at? Is a homeowner needs to pay attention to that?
Yeah, that is actually what is known as a brush pile or a seal, felt seal. So when there are two windows which are sliding, there will be a small gap in between the sliding windows. So when you close the window, that gap needs to be closed so that even the air doesn't move, nor the rainwater doesn't enter inside. So they provide that brush pile or a seal. Even if it is provided, sometimes when the things are being cleaned or something, it would have been damaged or it would have fallen off. So you should check that the brush pile or seal is in place.
So you have a lot of villas today that have sliding doors, and then you step out into the garden. So can you tell us what should a homeowner look for in that case?
There's a main important point that bottom drain holes in the channel. So that has to be looked at, especially in case of when there is a garden outside. In fact, when one of the projects I came across where the level was kept in a different, the level of the floor in the balcony or the deck was kept in a little higher than what is there in the inside. This creates problem in case of rainy season. There is a chance that water comes inside. So this also has to be looked into, and especially if the drain hole is blocked, that makes the matter worse. So we'll have to check for the drain hole also. The regular wooden doors are the engineered wooden doors, which are given for every room or even the main door.
So these wooden doors have hinges.
Yes.
So is there some I've seen some doors have 3 hinges, some doors have 4. So what is the logic and what is this? So what should a homeowner look for? What is the industry standard that is industry practice?
Normally the number of hinges depends on two things. One is the door size, the total height, and the weight of the door, because that is the weight that these hinges should be supporting.
Okay.
If it's a lightweight door, you may require less hinges. there is a heavy door, say for example the front door, it requires more hinges. What you should be, as a homeowner, should be looking at is whether all the hinges have been properly fitted. So usually, what happens is sometimes some screws are not properly fitted, or some screws are missing even. If you run your hand across the hinge surface, the screw head should not be projecting out. The movement of the door itself should be noiseless and should be able to move and lock properly without extra effort. Usually, the practice is to give 2 inches at the top, and then as per the code, you should not exceed more than 30 inches, the space between 2 inches.
If
So,
it's a 90-inch door, then you'll have 3 hinges. If it's a 91-inch door, you'll have 4 hinges.
yes,
Okay.
that's all. So, here, having made sure that the hinges are properly fixed, so you will have to check on the other hardware. You start with the boards which are on the top, the tower boards and the horizontal boards, and then also the handle, the locks. All these things have to be looked into. Many times the tower boards do not properly go into the receiver.
One thing that we should advise our clients is when they're looking at the hardware for the locks, they need to be cautious and not lock the door when they're inside the room. If
It has
by any
happened.
chance the operation of the lock is malfunctioning, you don't want to be locked inside the room. Always better to be outside and check.
While inspecting, you should be very careful. So, especially the homeowner, if somebody is around, you have to keep somebody around. We were just talking about the checking of the hardware provided on the door. So the locks, the handles, all those should be checked for functionality. And one more important thing is the stopper. Stoppers are very important for two aspects. One is if they're not provided properly, in case of any crosswind or heavy wind, the doors will bang and it will even get damaged, or it will come out of the hinges. You should check for the functionality of it, whether the rubber shoe in the end is there in place or not. Sometimes the shoe would have got detached, only the metallic part will be there. So that needs to be checked. So we'll have to move the stopper and check really it stops the door or not. If it is not there, that has to be refixed depending on the floor height. So once you check, we'll be able to point out.